from the outside. And mind you, if you have 60 doctors seeing 5 patients every hour, it's 300 cars times 10 hours is 3,000 cars in a period of 10 hours. Pray tell, where did you get the traffic engineering division? Because your numbers are sheer fantasy. Sheer fantasy. And now my friend Dorian here is going to rip you apart a little bit more.
Wait.
Can you respond to her?
Can I just make a small correction to what you did? Okay. All right, go ahead.
I'd love to hear the traffic expert.
Okay, so you're talking theory. I don't wait to go to the doctor, but when I go to the doctor in Cedarhurst, I gotta pay for that parking meter for 2 hours, so I don't get a ticket because I know that my orthopedist is gonna make me wait minimum an hour 15 or to an hour and a half before I am through with it. Okay, so, and I know that when I go to Manhattan, I have gone to Manhattan to doctors, the Upper East Side, where the hospitals are located, it's a horror show. It can take you 2 hours to get you off the 59th Street Bridge until you reach a parking lot near that hospital. So, I'm sorry, miss, but your degree is sheer fantasy. You better tell them to give you back your money, okay? Because it's not worth it.
No, don't give you back your money.
Okay. Can you please answer the question?
Can they answer the question?
Could I first add a couple of things? Perhaps, if you're waiting an hour and a half or 2 hours to see a doctor, you should select a different physician.
Right.
Wait. She is.
That's very nice.
Let the traffic expert answer the question.
Answer the question. Answer the question.
So
Really stick. Let's answer the question.
listen, folks, we're going to stay here and answer all the questions. But you are kind, you didn't interrupt us when we spoke. We're not interrupting him when you ask a question. Let him answer the question. You may not like his answer.
No, but he's not answering the question.
Let me answer the question. I will turn it over to the traffic expert in a second. Let me say one thing. He made an assumption as to how much staff was going to be in the building.
Right.
And I want to explain why that assumption is not correct.
Why?
Because the facility does not have clerical personnel in the building. There's only 1.5 employees per physician in the building. The billing, the phones are answered at other sites. They're not answered in the building. And since we're currently running 5 of these facilities, I know exactly how many employees there will be in the building, which will be 60 doctors plus 100 employees. And I'll now turn it over to the traffic expert.
So that's 100.
All right, thank you. And to continue with the answer, traffic engineers look at existing similar facilities when we project future traffic and parking conditions. We looked at a very similar existing facility, looked at it 24/7 for 7 straight days. We did not see overflow on that parking site. We saw less than 300 cars for a very similar number of doctors, similar number of staff, similar number of patients. I know about medical office traffic and parking. I've analyzed dozens of them. This is not a standard medical office. It will have not everybody there every day at the same time. It will have less intense use, lower parking, and lower traffic. We saw this. We counted this for 7 straight days. And that is where our information and our analysis is from.
Okay. All right, I'd like to say something. Everybody, there are a lot of emotions here. And people need to step back and really understand what's going on here. Simone is a business. They're not doing this out of goodwill, or they're not our messiah. They're not coming into our neighborhood to save us. This is one of the only neighborhoods that has a concentration of well-skilled doctors. So we're not lacking any good health care. Simone is a business. Let's go back to that. They're concerned with numbers. They're not looking for anything else. They're opening this facility to make money. This facility will not be open during these hours. If you look at any building that Simone puts up, It's a monstrosity. Go on SimoneDevelopment.com and look at their healthcare facilities. They are building monstrosities. Nobody in their right mind, no businessman successful, will buy for $12.5 million this property, invest another probably $7 million to fix it up, be in for $20 million to run it for 60 doctors. There's over 80,000 square feet, am I correct? 90,000 square feet. Divide that by 60 doctors. These are not medical offices, these are medical suites. It does not make any sense, no business sense whatsoever. They're saying it's for 60 doctors, this will end up being for 100 doctors. And the reason is that once they file for a variance, according to FEMA, the building has to be raised. Once the building gets raised, they're going to say, well, you know what? We can't keep the original structure. Why should we build it for 60 doctors? This is a business. They're going to make it for 100 doctors. Now do a simple math. I don't need a degree. I don't need anything. This is, you know, these are fancy presentations. They're trying to inundate you with details and it looks interesting and they're talking about bushes. This is nonsense. 100 doctors. Let me talk. You asked not to get... No, don't interrupt me. No, don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. If you do the simple math, please don't interrupt me. You asked us not to interrupt, so be courteous.
That's not why we're here today.
So now 100 doctors, a doctor sees an average of 5 patients an hour. Let's say they're very efficient, they roll them out.
Automated healthcare.
Automated, yeah, you're probably going to get somebody answering the phone in Bangladesh, but... Yes, automated healthcare. That's what it is. If they're saying that there's no on-site staff, it means that somebody off-site is taking care of all this. But never mind that. 100 doctors at 5 patients an hour are 500 patients an hour, starting at 7:30 in the morning, up until 10 o'clock at night. And you know why it's 10 o'clock at night and it's not 9 o'clock or 5 o'clock? Is because this is a business and they need to compete with the rest of the medical offices that are in Lynbrook and Rockville Center. And with the emergency care, so they will slowly increase their hours up until 10 o'clock at night. What about cleaning crews? What about deliveries? What about food? What about medical waste? What if there's another storm and the medical waste gets washed into the streets? You can laugh all you want. I remember the people that laughed about Irene and then during Sandy, they were stuck on the second floor waiting to be rescued. So you can laugh all you want. You have to understand, a lot of people are making this decision from the gut. And they're not making this decision from the head. And there are different reasons to that. They want to stick it to the Orthodox.